Check in. To arrive and register at a hotel or airport. We checked in at the hotel around noon. She checked in online before her flight. Check out. To leave a hotel after staying there. We checked out of the hotel at 11 a.m. She checked out early to catch her flight. Stay at a hotel. To live in a hotel for a short time. We stayed at a hotel near the beach. She stayed at a luxury hotel in Paris. Book a room. To reserve a room at a hotel. I booked a room for 2 nights. She booked a room with a sea view. Make a reservation. To arrange a hotel booking in advance. I made a reservation for this weekend. They made a reservation for a family suite. Cancel a reservation. To decide not to use a hotel booking anymore. They canceled their reservation at the last minute. We may cancel the reservation if our plans change. Room service. Food or drinks brought to a hotel room. Room service is available 24 hours a day. She called room service for breakfast. Check into a hotel. To arrive and officially enter a hotel. We checked into the hotel after midnight. She checked into a small hotel near the station. Vacate the room. To leave a hotel room. We vacated the room on time. They were vacating the room when housekeeping arrived. Extend your stay. To stay at a hotel for more time than planned. We decided to extend our stay for 2 more nights. They want to extend their stay until Monday. Wake-up call. A phone call from the hotel to wake a guest up. They requested a wake-up call before their flight. The receptionist arranged a wake-up call for us. Front desk. The hotel reception area. We asked for extra towels at the front desk. She left her key at the front desk. Housekeeper. A person whose job is to clean and organize hotel rooms. She thanked the housekeeper for the fresh towels. The housekeeper was changing the bed sheets. Double room. A hotel room for 2 people. We booked a double room for the weekend. She stayed in a double room with her sister. Single room. A hotel room for 1 person. I reserved a single room for 1 night. They could not find a cheap single room. Deluxe room. A more comfortable and expensive room. We upgraded to a deluxe room yesterday. She loved the view from the deluxe room. Fully booked. Having no empty rooms available. The hotel was fully booked during the festival. Hotels are often fully booked in summer. Luxury hotel. A very expensive and comfortable hotel. They stayed at a luxury hotel near the beach. We visited a famous luxury hotel in Dubai. Pay the bill. To give money for hotel services. He paid the bill before leaving the hotel. Guests must pay the bill during checkout. Make a complaint. To officially say that something is wrong. She made a complaint to the hotel manager. Customers have the right to make a complaint. Receptionist. A person who welcomes guests at a hotel. The receptionist gave us our room key. She asked the receptionist for directions. 5-star hotel. A very luxurious and expensive hotel. They stayed at a 5-star hotel near the beach. She works at a famous 5-star hotel. Dorm. A shared sleeping room for several people. I left my backpack in the dorm. We stayed in a dorm with 6 beds. Female-only dorm. A shared room only for women in a hostel. She booked a bed in a female-only dorm. Many solo travelers prefer a female-only dorm. Hostel. A cheap place where travelers stay, often with shared rooms. We stayed at a small hostel during our trip. She met many travelers at the hostel. Share a room. To stay in the same hotel room with another person. We shared a room during our trip. She shared a room with her sister. Roommate. A person who shares a room or apartment with another person. His roommate forgot to lock the door. We became close friends with our roommate. Leave a tip. To give extra money to thank someone for good service. They forgot to leave a tip for the waiter. Many tourists leave a tip at expensive hotels. At the hotel. Inside or around the hotel. She stayed at the hotel for 3 days. They arrived at the hotel late at night. Pet-friendly hotel. A hotel that allows guests to bring pets. We stayed at a pet-friendly hotel with our dog. They chose a pet-friendly hotel near the park. Bed and breakfast. A small place to stay that provides a room and morning meal. We stayed at a cozy bed and breakfast. She booked a bed and breakfast near the lake. Inn. A small hotel or guest house. We spent the night at a quiet inn. They stopped at an old inn during their trip. Motel. A roadside hotel for travelers, especially drivers. We stayed at a small motel by the highway. The motel has free parking for guests. Free Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi available at no extra cost. The hotel offers free Wi-Fi for all guests. She used the free Wi-Fi to watch movies. Overbooked. Having more reservations than available rooms or seats. The hotel was overbooked during the holiday season. Their flight was overbooked, so they had to wait. Non-smoking room. A hotel room where smoking is not allowed. We requested a non-smoking room. She stayed in a quiet, non-smoking room. Queen-size bed. A large bed for 2 people, bigger than a double bed. The room had a comfortable queen-size bed. She prefers sleeping on a queen-size bed. King-size bed. A very large bed for 2 people. We reserved a room with a king-size bed. Many luxury hotels offer king-size beds. Book a flight to reserve a seat on an airplane. I booked a flight to London for next month. She booked a flight online in just a few minutes. Miss a flight to arrive too late for a plane. He missed his flight because of heavy traffic. She almost missed her flight at the airport. Take off. When a plane leaves the ground and begins to fly. The plane took off on time this morning. She felt nervous when the plane took off. Land safely. To arrive on the ground without danger after flying. The plane landed safely despite the storm. We hope the flight will land safely in bad weather. Catch a flight. To get on a plane before it leaves. We woke up early to catch a flight to Seoul. He barely caught his flight because of traffic. Board a plane. To get onto an airplane before a flight. We boarded the plane 20 minutes before takeoff. Passengers must board the plane at the correct gate. Round-trip ticket. A ticket that includes travel to a place and back again. We bought a round-trip ticket to Rome. She found a cheap round-trip ticket online. One-way ticket. A ticket to a destination without a return trip. I bought a one-way ticket to Madrid. She traveled with only a one-way ticket. Direct flight. A flight that goes to a place without stopping. We took a direct flight to Tokyo. She prefers direct flights because they save time. Connecting flight. A flight that requires changing planes before reaching the final destination. She has a connecting flight in Istanbul. A connecting flight can make the journey longer. Domestic flight. A flight that travels within the same country. We took a domestic flight to our hometown. She often travels on domestic flights for work. International flight. A flight that travels between different countries. We took an international flight to Germany. International flights require a passport. Aisle seat. A seat next to the aisle on a plane. I chose an aisle seat for more legroom. She prefers an aisle seat on long flights. Window seat. A seat next to the window on a plane. I always choose a window seat during flights. She enjoyed the view from her window seat. Boarding pass. A document that allows a passenger to enter a plane. I showed my boarding pass at the gate. She printed her boarding pass at the airport. Flight attendant. A person who helps and serves passengers on a plane. A flight attendant explains safety rules before takeoff. She asked the flight attendant for a blanket. Overhead compartment. A storage space above the seats on a plane. I put my backpack in the overhead compartment. Passengers should store small bags in the overhead compartment. Passport control. The place where officials check passports at an airport. We waited in line at passport control for an hour. Passengers must go through passport control before entering the country. Go through customs. To pass through the airport area where bags are checked. We went through customs after landing. She had to go through customs with her luggage. Security check. The process of checking passengers and bags for safety. We arrived early for the security check. Passengers must pass the security check before boarding. Departure gate. The place at an airport where passengers wait to board a plane. We waited near the departure gate for our flight. Passengers should arrive at the departure gate on time. Delayed flight. A flight that does not leave or arrive on time. She waited for hours because of the delayed flight. A delayed flight can ruin travel plans. Fasten your seatbelt. To close and secure the seatbelt around yourself. Please fasten your seatbelt before takeoff. They were fastening their seatbelts during turbulence. Carry-on luggage. The bags a passenger takes onto a plane. Carry-on luggage must fit in the overhead compartment. She carried only carry-on luggage for the short trip. Experience turbulence. To feel sudden movement during a flight. They were experiencing turbulence over the ocean. Flights sometimes experience turbulence in bad weather. Economy class. The cheapest and most basic section on a plane. We flew in economy class to save money. She usually travels in economy class on long flights. Business class. A comfortable and expensive section on a plane. We upgraded our seats to business class. They were served a special meal in business class. First class. The most expensive and comfortable section on a plane. They traveled in first class for their honeymoon. She enjoyed the luxury of first class. Long-haul flight. A flight that travels a very long distance. We took a long-haul flight to Australia. She slept for most of the long-haul flight. Short-haul flight. A flight that travels a short distance. We took a short-haul flight to another city. A short-haul flight usually lasts only a few hours. Feel jet-lagged. To feel tired and confused after a long flight across time zones. I felt jet-lagged after arriving in New York. Travelers often feel jet-lagged after long-haul flights. Travel insurance. An insurance service that protects travelers during trips. We bought travel insurance before our vacation. They are looking for affordable travel insurance online. Pick up. To collect someone or something from a place. I will pick you up from the airport tonight. She picked up her suitcase after the flight. Drop off. To take someone or something to a place and leave them there. My father dropped me off at the airport early in the morning. She dropped off her luggage at the hotel. In-flight meal. A meal served to passengers during a flight. We enjoyed the in-flight meal on the way to Paris. An in-flight meal is usually included on long flights. Smooth flight. A flight without problems or strong turbulence. We had a smooth flight to Dubai. A smooth flight makes traveling more relaxing. Take along. To bring someone or something with you. They were taking along extra clothes for the cold weather. You should take along your passport when traveling abroad. Stop over. To stay for a short time in a place during a journey. We stopped over in Barcelona for one night. Many travelers stop over to rest during long journeys. Take a flight. To travel by airplane. We took a flight to Kyoto last summer. They were taking a flight to another country for business. See off. To go to an airport to say goodbye to someone. We went to the airport to see him off. She saw her brother off before his flight. Lost and found. A place where lost items are kept until their owners claim them. I went to the lost and found to look for my phone. They were asking about a missing suitcase at Lost and Found. Travel on a budget. To travel while spending as little money as possible. They traveled on a budget across Europe. She learned how to travel on a budget. Go abroad. To travel or live in another country. He went abroad to study English. She plans to go abroad next summer. Rent a car. To pay to use a car for a short period of time. We rented a car to explore the city. She decided to rent a car at the airport. Go sightseeing. To visit famous places as a tourist. She loves going sightseeing during vacations. They were going sightseeing near the old castle. Try local food. To taste traditional dishes from a place. We tried local food during our trip to Italy. She loves trying local food when she travels. Buy souvenirs. To purchase gifts or objects to remember a trip. We bought souvenirs for our friends and family. She likes to buy souvenirs from every country she visits. Go backpacking. To travel with a backpack, usually on a low budget. We went backpacking across Europe last year. She wants to go backpacking after graduation. Cross the border. To go from one country into another country. We crossed the border by bus last summer. She crossed the border with her passport and visa. Explore a city. To travel around and discover different parts of a city. We explored the city on foot yesterday. She enjoys exploring a city without a map. Travel light. To travel with only a few bags or belongings. We traveled light during our weekend trip. They were traveling light with only backpacks. Pack a suitcase. To put clothes and other items into a suitcase for travel. I packed my suitcase the night before the trip. She packed a suitcase for her business trip. Exchange money. To change one country's currency into another currency. We exchanged money at the airport before our trip. She exchanged money for euros yesterday. Take photos. To use a camera or phone to capture pictures. We took photos of the beautiful mountains. Tourists often take photos to remember their trips. Go on vacation. To take time off from work to travel. We went on vacation to Greece last summer. They were going on vacation with their friends. Get lost. To not know where you are or how to reach your destination. They were getting lost because they had no map. Tourists sometimes get lost in unfamiliar places. Nightlife. Entertainment and social activities that happen at night in a city. She loves experiencing the nightlife of big cities. They were exploring the nightlife after dinner. Business trip. A trip taken for work or business purposes. He went on a business trip to Singapore. She is preparing for an important business trip. Take a guided tour to visit a place with a guide who explains information. She decided to take a guided tour of the ancient city. They were taking a guided tour through the castle. Go overseas, to travel to another country across the sea or far away. He went overseas for work last year. She dreams of going overseas to study. Wanderlust, a strong desire to travel and explore the world. Her wanderlust inspired her to visit many countries. He felt a sense of wanderlust after watching travel videos. Pilgrim, a person who travels to a holy place for religious reasons. The pilgrim walked for many days to reach the sacred city. Thousands of pilgrims visit the holy site every year. Adventure seeker, a person who enjoys exciting and risky experiences. She is an adventure seeker who loves mountain climbing. Many adventure seekers visit remote places around the world. Have a safe trip, a phrase used to wish someone a safe journey. Have a safe trip to Canada. They said goodbye and told us to have a safe trip. Street food, food that is cooked and sold in streets. We tried delicious street food in Seoul. She enjoys trying street food in different countries. Culture shock, the feeling of confusion when experiencing a very different culture. He experienced culture shock after moving abroad. She felt culture shock during her first week in Japan. Take a taxi, to travel somewhere by taxi. We took a taxi to the airport early in the morning. She usually takes a taxi when she is late. Apply for a visa, to officially request permission to enter another country. She applied for a visa to study abroad. They applied for a tourist visa last month. Globetrotter, a person who travels to many different countries frequently. The famous globetrotter has visited more than 50 countries. She became a globetrotter after starting her travel blog. Backpacker, a traveler who carries their belongings in a backpack and usually travels cheaply. The backpacker traveled across Europe by train. She met several backpackers at the hostel. Jet setter, a person who travels frequently and often visits fashionable places. The famous jet setter spent the summer in Italy and France. The wealthy jet setter stayed in luxury hotels around the world. Resort, a place where people go to relax and enjoy vacations. The mountain resort attracts many tourists every winter. She booked a room at a luxury resort by the sea. Solo traveler, a person who travels alone. The solo traveler explored the city without a guide. She became a confident solo traveler after her first trip abroad. Passenger, a person traveling in a vehicle, plane, train, or ship. The passengers waited calmly at the airport. Every passenger showed a boarding pass before entering the plane. Destination, the place where someone is going or traveling to. Milan is a popular travel destination. The plane finally reached its destination. Getaway, a short vacation or escape from everyday life. We planned a weekend getaway near the mountains. They often go on a romantic getaway in spring. Refugee, a person who leaves their country because of war, danger, or persecution. The refugee crossed the border with his family. The country accepted thousands of refugees last year. Landmark, a famous place or building that is easy to recognize. The Eiffel Tower is a famous landmark in Paris. Tourists took photos near the historic landmark. Off-season, the period when fewer tourists travel or visit a place. We traveled during the off-season to save money. Hotels are usually cheaper in the off-season. Peak season, the busiest and most popular travel period. Flights are more expensive during the peak season. They visited the island in the peak season. Bucket list, a list of things someone wants to do before they die. Visiting Japan is on my bucket list. She crossed skydiving off her bucket list last year. Language barrier, the difficulty people have communicating because they speak different languages. Many travelers worry about the language barrier abroad. Despite the language barrier, they became good friends. Remote village, a village that is far away from cities or busy areas. They traveled to a remote village in the mountains. Life in the remote village was peaceful and quiet. Hidden gem, a wonderful place that not many people know about. The small cafe was a hidden gem in the old town. We found a hidden gem while exploring the city. Week-long trip, a trip that lasts for 1 week. We went on a week-long trip to Italy. He took a week-long trip to relax after work. Honeymoon, a vacation taken by newly married people. They went to Bali for their honeymoon. We saw many couples enjoying their honeymoon at the resort. Tourist hotspot, a very popular place visited by many tourists. The beach becomes a tourist hotspot in summer. This small town is turning into a popular tourist hotspot. Staycation, a vacation spent at home or near home instead of traveling far away. We had a relaxing staycation this summer. She planned a staycation to save money. Immigrant, a person who moves to another country to live permanently. The immigrant started a new life in Canada. Many immigrants move abroad for better opportunities. Holidaymaker, a person who is on vacation. The beach was full of holidaymakers. Holidaymakers crowded the streets during the festival season. Travel to go from one place to another place. I want to travel to Japan someday. She travels to different countries for work. Fly to travel somewhere by airplane. She is flying to Paris next week. They flew to Dubai on a business trip. Return ticket, a ticket for going to a place and coming back. I bought a return ticket to London. They found a cheap return ticket online. Travel expenses, the money spent on transportation, hotels, food, and other travel costs. The company paid for his travel expenses. Their travel expenses were higher than expected. Work and travel, a program where students work while traveling in another country. She joined a work and travel program in the USA. Many students choose work and travel during summer break. Road trip, a long journey made by car. We went on a road trip across the country. She loves taking road trips with her friends. Travel across, to go from one side of a place to another. They traveled across Europe by train. We traveled across the desert for many hours. Northern lights, colorful lights in the night sky seen in northern countries. We saw the northern lights in Norway last winter. They stayed outside for hours watching the northern lights. Ancient ruins, the remains of very old buildings or cities from the past. She loves exploring ancient ruins during her travels. They took many photos of the ancient ruins.